That was a capture I wouldn't know. Certainly I'll get the ball and off the tee to. It's not any favours. It's battled away bravely.
Should be.
Hello.
Yeah, so Engineer Stanley is getting back shortly. Please be patient a bit. Okay, you wanted to ask something?
Yes, I want to ask a question. But when one is
Let him get back. Would you mind him getting back and then you'll ask him?
Yes.
Yeah, let him get back and then you'll ask him.
Sorry for the technology itch. So where were we? There was a question on. Okay, seems the messages have disappeared. So can I have the questions now? Major Mesh, you had a question. Can you repost it, please?
Let me post it. Hello.
Yes.
Now, my question goes to you concerning the digitization process of
Which
the
process?
IEK system. The digitization, are we able to digitize everything? That when you apply for your DHE applications, you do them online, like what's done in IPRA. Like IPRA is doing what's currently, we embrace it.
Yeah, it is possible to do that. But I also want to let you know that there was a lot of cleaning tools and processes, challenges that we encountered. Yes, the digitization process is actually a top priority. It's easy. It will be easy to engage with members, especially those from outside Nairobi.
Okay.
Then, yes, how will you help local startup engineering companies get same access to tenders and opportunities to jobs? The government, I am aware, has put in place a mechanism to have about 30% of all the tenders go to the young people. So yes, this is in place. From an engineering perspective, what I see or what I know is that there's always certain opportunities for the youth ring fenced. So that if you don't meet that criteria, then you cannot, you are knocked out of the tendering process. The question is, do the young, young or local startup participate in these tenders? How will you affect CSR at IEK? I don't think it's dormant. In the last conference we had in Mombasa, sorry, in Diani, we had very well executed CSR. IEK had set aside 200,000 shillings, if I'm not wrong, to equip the local technical vocational schools within the Kilifi, within the South Coast region in Kwale. So yes, it's not dormant. Sometimes, and I think this is something we need to have in the advocacy so that all these events or activities are shared, regardless of how small they are. What is your take on the issue of discrimination of KTRIB members by engineers and the persistent painting of the group as quacks despite the presence of acts supporting them? I have not been able to witness this. I think, first of all, I don't think they should be as quacks, because there's a legislation supporting their existence. I think it is that that sibling rivalry between EBK and KTRIB in terms of member registration of their respective members. We were promised to have online platform ready this month. How far are we? I think we're almost there. I will need to check with Engineer Sang and the secretary who are pursuing this. PIP seminars for the young engineers towards mentorship seems so expensive. As a council member, yes, I think I answered this earlier, but let me just reaffirm what I said. The idea is to make sure that, first of all, that tag of commercialization of PIP, we get disappeared. There are many ways we are looking at. For example, in terms of the venues, in terms of the facilitators, there is a push to have the facilitators who are our own members look at the fees they charge. And also, most important, engaging with consulting firms, engineering firms, and our traditional sponsors coming forth to sponsor our young people and make the cost of PIP affordable. The keyword here is affordable. And what is your plan to handle the so-called sibling rivalry? Yes, as I said earlier, there is a planned meeting between IEK and the EBK to engage them. We need first to engage EBK. We have a number of queries that are not been answered. And keep in mind, we had almost 1 year of an inactive EBK. You all know that the board, delayed, the minister delayed putting in place the board members, and this really wasted most of us. The board was inactive for a year. It is back, and they have a pile of work. So we need to get from them what are their priority issues that, of course, affect our members. How will you ensure we don't regulate engineers who regulate engineering profession? How will you ensure we don't? Major Mesh, I don't get your question. Maybe you can rephrase it. Sibling rivalry between EBK, I think I've answered that. Your manifesto and action plan in 3 minutes. I think the top one in my view is, from the understanding, the IEK is a society for our members. Now, we have had all the issues that are affecting our members. And for me, the key one is on opportunities to the young people, to the GEs, opportunities to the startups that I mentioned earlier. When it comes to if we are to improve the G to P transition, we must provide opportunities to our young engineers. And this can be by way of internships, providing opportunities for them. And that may be a short term, but long term, mid to long term, we need to address the issue, animal code, local content. If we address that one and we ring fence and ensure our members' interests are taken care of, then we'll start seeing graduate engineers and young engineers getting opportunities to go and get the experience, train, and be able to, document their work, document their training, with a view of getting registered. Engineering space, are you taking all years of technical should be engineers? How will you work to achieve this? Yes, better. All CEOs of technical government should be engineers. How will you work to achieve this? Of course, all the opportunities are available. We know we have many other professions trying to fight to get these opportunities. The idea is to make sure, first of all the government agencies that are clearly of engineering nature, the opportunities are, we make sure that they are fought. We fight so hard to ensure our members get the chance. And also to advocate our members whom we know are qualified to apply for these jobs. What is your definition, or how do you view an ideal engineering technologist? Okay, I will come up with an answer on that. My question is about management of engineering profession in the country. IEK EBK has been not regulating the profession in the country apart from managing the individuals in the country. I don't know what the Major Mesh wants to get from this question. Mesh, if you're there, can you help me to paraphrase the question?
So Mesh, you can switch on your, or rather you can unmute your microphone and clarify the question. Okay, let's go to the next one as he sets up. The next question is asking, what's your view on university degree curriculum revision to keep up to date with current job demand and trends?
This is one, okay, I am slowly disclosing the agenda of our meeting with IEK, with EBK, but this is one of the issues we need to look at, the emerging disciplines within the broader engineering profession, and how fast we can have the accreditation and accreditation of these degree courses and curriculum revision as well, and also to make sure that to look whether these universities are well equipped to undertake the programs. We do not aspire to have a situation where a program is in place, it's not accredited, and then we react when we see graduates coming out looking for registration with EBK.
So Mesh, you can go ahead.
Yes, madam. Now, my question is concerning about the management of engineers in the country. Is where we are facing a situation, we are regulating people, not the engineering profession. In the context that we miss the opportunity to execute what to execute judgments. If those people are capable, we have not seen any engineer.
Mesh? Okay, well, I tried to get, I think, let me try and share something. I think I'm trying to understand what he's asking. It's about the management of the engineering profession in the country. From a regulatory perspective, we have the EBK, who are, through the Engineers Act of 2011, managing the profession. IEK, on the other part, looks at the welfare and the interests of the members. So the meeting, our regular meetings with the IEK, including the one coming in the month of March, is to address issues affecting our members with the regulator. And one of these, of course, is on the capacity development. The CPDs, the licensing of foreign engineers, how can that be controlled or curtailed? So I think that is generally what IEK and IBK are trying to do. We did not have much time, keeping in mind that 1 year IBK did not have a board, so these meetings could not take place. But we've done a lot since the board was in place. And keep in mind, 3 of their members, three members of IEK sit at the IBK board. Mesh, I hope I have answered your question. Do you have any action plan to enable engineers to do specialization locally, or do we need School of Engineering? Well, the topic of School of Engineering has come back. But in terms of to enable engineers to do specialization locally, that has to do, one, with collaboration with academia or the universities, whether one, they have the capability, capacity, and tools to offer these specialized programs at the university.
There is a question from Dolo that you're in a position to influence. What have you done to motivate students or graduates from Northeastern Kenya?
Oh yeah, very, very important question. We know the challenges that are affecting the education sector in general in the Northeastern Kenya, and there's a lot the government is doing in terms of security, in terms of awareness, and in terms of human resource capacity. But from an engineering perspective, we have a good number of engineers, young engineers from the region. And in terms of mentoring or providing opportunities, that is very clear. We are treating them as we are treating other young engineers from the rest of the country. In terms of the influence, I have an influence that what I can do. I think we are looking at a broader short, but most important, mid to long-term opportunities. What these young engineers want is very simple. They want, when you leave college, you get an internship to do practice, train, and hopefully get a placement. It is very sad right now that we have 50 years leaving college and struggling to get internships or attachments. Some don't even graduate. So that's an immediate challenge we all need to put in place. Not only this council, but also other eminent engineers, consulting firms, and organizations. But if we, I go back to the local content, if we have all these jobs, infrastructure jobs, energy, water, whatever it is, going to foreigners, and there is no clause to have part of these jobs, given to Kenyan firms, then consulting firms will be idle. They will not have the capacity to get this young. So it is something that needs a broad, structured approach, which will involve regulations, policy, and most important, legislation.
So do you think
Yes,
IEK has failed Kenyan engineers?
I don't think IEK has failed Kenyan engineers, and facts are there, to be looked at. My senior engineer Matlanga promised to share some numbers on Monday. I think that will justify what IEK has done in terms of addressing the welfare and interest of engineers. The most important thing or mandate of the society is to ensure the numbers grow. The more numbers we have, the more we stand the chance to sit and be heard. So I don't think IEK has failed the engineers, and especially when you look at what this council has done the last 2 years compared with how things were being run the previous years. The question from Ndolo: what's your take on PE registration by research and patenting, like patenting, like it happens in UK, Canada? Ndolo, I will come back with a definite answer on that. Allow me to juggle my memory. BBI is collecting views from Kenyans as IEK failed to present views to BBI team. I think, if I'm not wrong, I have seen an initiative from some of the members on Telegram towards collecting views for presentation to the BBI team. I will need to check how far that has gone. And of course, I will come back to Telegram to share my views on this and also the questions that I promised to come back.
So, why is IEK chapters in northern and eastern Kenya sleeping?
We actually don't have a chapter in northern and eastern Kenya. The strategic plan that is already being implemented now anticipated the creation of chapters from the traditional ones, which was Coast, Western, and Central Kenya. And the first child, or the first baby born out of this, was IEK South Rift. And I think the idea within the life of this current strategic plan is to see that all these chapters are in place. IEK South Rift is a success, is a good success story, and if you like it, a benchmark towards setting up of the other branches in Kenya. It will happen, I can assure you. Can we have a debate with all the contestants for the same position next time?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, this is possible. I know the presidential candidates, the four of them, are having some sort of a debate being organized again, and credit to IEK South Rift for taking the lead to arrange for that. Anything is possible.
And I think IEK South Rift has carried the day, or rather the year. Most branches should consider like going to benchmark to them or something. So Mesh is asking, G do have voting rights among other rights. What is your opinion on this? Also, is there any progress concerning review this matter? I think he meant don't have. Gs don't have voting rights among other rights.
Yes, Gs don't have voting rights under the current constitution. And as I said earlier, the constitutional review process is ongoing. And I had said, if the feeling of the members is to have...
The constitutional review has been taking too long. From 2014, when it started in December, then it was actively picked in 2015. It has
Abdi, come nearer to the mic. Abdi.
It's not Abdi, it's Ndolo.
Ndolo, come back. Okay, you are saying the constitutional process has started?
It's taking too long. It started in 2014 December. It's picked in 2015.
Yeah.
And then it went silent. And Engineer Auma really said that he has failed people in that sector. So what is the council, the current council, before it expires, its tenure expires, what has it done to ensure that come 2022, there will be no these questions again? Because 2016 there was this question, 2018 there was this question, 2020 we're having the same question again. So 2022...
Ndolo, the constitutional process, the constitutional review process started in 2018, started with the life of this council. Now,
no, 2015. Check records.
I'm talking about the review of the current constitution.
It started in 2015.
The review of the current constitution,
yes,
in my view, or what I can recollect, is they started with the life of this council, where Engineer Uma, Engineer Matlanga, and others sit in that committee to review the current constitution. Now, why has it
If
taken long?
If you watched Engineer Matalanga's video, you'll find that he admits having started the process in 2014, 2015. See, so it started
Correct.
way back, not actively picked 2015, then it went silent, and then again it's being picked again in 2018. So there must be some steps the council is putting. So if you are going to be the next council, what do you think you're going to do to ensure that come 2022 we don't have the same question being asked time and again?
Okay, and Dolo, look here, I mean, the process of the constitutional review did not stop. It just stalled, or rather took a bit slower towards the end of this council. But that doesn't mean that the council was not committed. It was committed to this. We've taken a lot of feedback, reports and all that. But I don't want to comment about this because there was a committee handling this. What I want to say is that we were running both the strategic plan process together with the constitutional review. And it was the wisdom to ensure that, first of all, we get strategic plan ready and going. We are implementing the constitution, I mean, the strategic plan. The idea was to make sure that if there's anything in the plan that needs a constitutional provision, then it would have been better to first finish the strategic plan, which we have done, and any other issue within the strategic plan that requires a provision in our constitution, then be put in place as we review to amend the current constitution. For example, we are talking about GEs. If membership feels that GEs have a voting right, then a mechanism needs to be put in place so that this can be captured in the current constitution.
So can we count on you to ensure that this process will, if you go into the council, will be sorted before 2022, so that GEs can be able to vote?
What I can assure you is very simple. I mean, I think we don't need anyone from another planet to come and tell us. This demand is there. The council listened, membership broader have listened, we've listened to the Gs, and that's why this process of collecting views and putting them in a structured document, which eventually there will be an SGM to go through this document and expect members to approve the document. So yes, it's only that we had 2 years to do so many things. You all know during our nucleus, the issues we are facing in Dolo. There are so many things we have to prioritize which one is pinching our members most. And I think, and I hope most members agree with me, we have done a lot within the 2 years. It's only that the time was short. But that said and done, and I think Engineer Uma mentioned, the constitution was, was about 70 or 80% to completion. We will finish that process as soon as the elections are over.
Sure, I appreciate that. Thank you. Then the other thing is some members in the group, the Telegram group, always argue that we are a bit arrogant with them, or the way you come out. I know sometimes when you write a text, it can be misinterpreted. Normally, that's it. But some members are saying that you're a bit rude to them. So what can you assure members that whatever they misinterpret on the text is not the real you?
No, I think it's an issue of having at times ideological differences. Sometimes you explain something and then it doesn't come out to how the members were expecting. I have reached out to most of these young engineers who thought about that, and we've clarified issues. In fact, two of them are in my mentorship, and so it's never personal. And I want to ask the young people, we all have different personalities, we have different ideologies. We cannot stop talking, we cannot stop debating. Let us debate, let us discuss, share issues with some level of decorum, so that at the end of the day, we arrive at certain conclusion. If anything, I always say, if anything is not clear, please request for clarification or query. or reach out to the members if it's a burning issue. I mean, like I did to these two young guys, you know, and it came out. It was an issue of understanding when I explain issues on certain topics.
Questions?
So, is there anyone with any question? Collins, Engineer Mutuku, Eric, Gitonga. Do you have any question? Engineer Lucy, Engineer Margaret, Lawrence, do you have any questions?
There's one here from Mr. Mesh again. We have great imbalance at IEK register, more so on your field and electrical. How will you ensure we get a balance in the register? I think quite a good question here. Yes, when I registered the way back in 2012, there were very few chemical engineers registered. This number has been growing, you know, a bit slowly, but we are seeing numbers every year. This year, I mean, last year, I think about 7 or 8 engineers from chemical registered. And this number is increasing, one by way of reaching out to the graduates wherever they are in the different fields they do. We have groups where we continue to discuss on how these numbers can be increased. And most important also talks at the university. Last year I did 2 talks in Moi University. And this is continuing to increase the numbers on this, not only chemical, but also other programs that are accredited by IEK. Electrical, no, I think electrical, the numbers are not so bad. I think they are growing as well.
Sorry, in electrical we are messed up. We are very few, and the numbers, people are complaining that the people who were interviewing last year have not received their communication plate.
Yeah, what IEK did on electrical, first of all, was to expand the panel, the interviewing panel. For some years, there used only to be 3 members in the panel. And for as long as the 3 are available, it's when interviews used to take place. Sometimes it used to take long, very long. But for those who've registered the last few months can attest that the panel has been widened, not only for electrical, but civil. Civil, we have a panel that comprises water, roads, and structural. Electrical, we have, I think, about 9 or 12. Mechanicals, same thing in the different specialties. So now there is no excuse, and that's why we're asking for the young engineers, the Gs, please document your work. Document your work. IEK sits every month. The council meets every month. We look at all these applications and process them.
All right, as you answer the last question, I would like us to finish the meeting in the next 5 or so minutes. So I would like, when you answer the last question, please do a cutting shot on why voters should vote for you.
I do what?
Do a cutting shot on why voters should vote for you.
Okay, so there's a question here from Bayado. Given a chance, what will you change in the current P interview to streamline the process? One of the members of the membership committee last year shared a clear document on the report writing and the design report writing. It's very clear, and the process has been simplified. That's number 1. 2, IEK has increased the panels in the 3 broader disciplines. So we are asking and appealing to members, please send in your reports. IEK sits every month, the council sits every month, committee sits every month. For as long as applications are coming in, the committees are mandated to sit and ensure all the applications are processed before the council meeting. Major Mesh is asking also, IEK is also precisely registering the old engineering programs, hindering the new professions, computer science, instrumental. Will you champion to include new engineering programs at IEK and EBK? Yeah, this will need, I will take this as part of the questions to to address during the meeting between IEK and EBK. It's all about the new emerging programs. How can they be first accredited and monitored at the same time? So in the absence of any other question, I will finally appeal to members to give me another chance to serve in the coming 2020-2022 council to continue with a good job that we started in 2018. And this is to mainly address the issues affecting our membership, especially the young engineers, their welfare as well, and also in terms of opportunities, looking for lasting solutions. We do not want to continue relying on ad hoc solutions provided by politicians and so on and so forth. We need a structured long-term solution, and in my view, this sits with the local content policy and legislation. 1, 2, having policies, government favored policies that encourage jobs amongst our young engineers. Finally, also to continue with the good work we did on capacity building, mentorship, and looking at the marginalized members of our society. Vote for me for another term.
Thank you, Engineer Stanley, for your time and for all the insights. Thank you to all the members who joined us. I hope your questions have been answered. I saw there was a lot of, let me call it gas on Telegram to join in the chat, and I hope they have all been answered. Of course, we've taken note of the feedback that you've given in terms of arranging the webinars, and Ndolo and I will take in your feedback. Thank you, Ndolo.
And one more thing, Diana.
Yes.
We can continue engaging on Telegram, those who have other questions and seeking clarification.
Yes, we'll share your video there and the recording, or rather the recording there, so anyone who has questions. And if you have another chance to come and also answer them, it's still fine.
Sure.
Thank you, Engineer. Thank you, Engineer, for your time. I appreciate it. This thing we are doing it, we volunteer to that, so that we institution go further, and not for us, but for the next generation. Otherwise, for now, I thank you. I wish you all the best in the next coming election.
Most welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to me.
I will be posting this
thank
video
you.
Yeah, definitely wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah, and keep safe. Make sure you wear your mask. Corona is there. All right, everybody in the room, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you join us next time. Tomorrow we'll have Engineer Ogai, and then on Tuesday, probably we'll have Engineer Nimai. On Wednesday, tentatively Engineer Chimini will be there, and at night we'll have Engineer Uza. So it's a packed week. I hope you join us when we work our way forward for this. Thank you very much. Good day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.